The first time my mother called my art studio a waste of space, I was 16. Today, 18 years later, she's doing it again, but this time with a purpose that makes my stomach turn. I'm Valerie, and this studio has been my sanctuary for the past 5 years. Every paint-splattered floorboard and sun-bleached wall holds a piece of my soul. The morning light streams through the bay windows, catching dust motes that dance around my latest commission, an abstract piece that's already sold for enough to cover 3 months of mortgage payments. My phone buzzes again. Mum's third call in 10 minutes. Valerie, thank God. We have a situation. Her voice carries that familiar mix of drama and disappointment. Your sister needs us. I dip my brush in cerulean blue, adding another layer to the canvas. What's Kiara done now? It's Gareth, he's gone. A pause for effect. Left her and the kids, just gone. Bank accounts emptied. The brush freezes mid-stroke. What? She needs somewhere to stay while we sort this out. Your father and I have been talking, and there it is. The familiar weight settles in my chest before she even finishes the sentence. The studio would make a perfect nursery, she continues. All that natural light. And honestly, darling, it's time you got serious about life anyway. 34 is too old to be playing with paints. I glance at the letter on my desk, the one confirming my acceptance to the Costa Rican artist residency. 10 days until departure. The irony almost makes me laugh. Mum, this is my workplace. I make a living here. Oh, please. Those little paintings barely cover your expenses. We all know your father helps with the mortgage. I bite back the truth that Dad hasn't contributed a dime since I bought the house 3 years ago. They still think I rent. My phone pings with a text from Ciara. Please, Val. The kids need their aunt. Don't be selfish. Selfish. Their favourite word for me since childhood. Selfish for choosing art school over business. Selfish for not lending Kiara my car when she crashed hers. Selfish for missing Sunday dinners to meet gallery deadlines. Your sister will be there in an hour, Mum announces. We'll help move your things to the garage. You can store all your... She pauses, searching for the right word. Supplies there. I walk to the kitchen and fill the kettle, my movements deliberate and calm. Another text buzzes through. This one from the Women's Creative Collective I've been talking to about leasing the house. They're still interested. Perfect timing. Mum, I'll put the tea on. See you soon. I end the call and lean against the counter, a smile playing at my lips as I imagine their faces when they realise what's coming. They want my space. Fine. But they'll learn what happens when you push an artist too far. The kettle whistles. I pull out my grandmother's china set, the one Mum always coveted but never got. Might as well make this memorable. My phone lights up with a notification from the airline app. Check-in available for your flight to San Jose. I hear car doors slamming outside. Mum's Mercedes, Dad's BMW. Kiara's voice carrying across the garden, already planning where to put the changing table. They're right on schedule, just like always. I smooth my paint-stained apron and check my reflection in the window. The woman staring back isn't the pushover they expect. She's someone else entirely, someone who's been planning this moment for longer than they know. The doorbell rings. I pick up the teapot, arranged perfectly on the antique tray with 4 cups. 1 for each of them, none for me. They'll need something to hold on to when their world shifts sideways. Coming! I call out, my voice steady and sweet. Let them think I'm the same compliant Valerie, ready to sacrifice everything for family harmony. Let them measure my walls and rearrange my life in their heads. I have 10 days to show them exactly how wrong they've been about me all along. The door opens to their expectant faces. Mum's barely concealed satisfaction, Dad's practiced concern, Ciara's designer sunglasses hiding what I'm sure are tactical tears. They file in like they own the place, already reaching for the tea I've prepared. I smile as I pour, watching steam rise like the plans forming in my mind. So, I say, tell me everything. And they do, not noticing how I don't touch my phone when it buzzes again. Probably my lawyer confirming the lease paperwork is ready. They don't see me glance at the clock, counting down hours until my meeting with the collective. They never did see me, really, but they're about to feel my absence in ways they never imagined. Let the games begin. The light in here is just perfect for the crib, Ciara announces. pacing my studio with the confident stride of someone who's never heard the word no. Her designer heels click against the hardwood floors I hand-restored last summer. We can put the changing table where that easel is. I sit perched on my work stool, watching my sister measure my life with an iPhone app. Her kids, Max and Emma, are with our parents at the park, probably being promised the moon and stars, just like their mother always was. "How long do you think you'll need to stay?" I ask, keeping my voice neutral. Tiara pushes her sunglasses up onto her head, revealing red-rimmed eyes. "God, Val, my husband just abandoned me. I'm not exactly working with a timeline here." Mum swoops in from the kitchen, armed with her third cup of tea. "Darling, don't upset your sister. She's been through enough." She turns to me with that familiar look, the one that says I'm being difficult again. "Valerie, we found some lovely storage units nearby. Very clean, very secure." I think of the acceptance letter in my desk drawer, of the lease agreement waiting in my email, of the carefully orchestrated exit strategy I've been piecing together for months. "Actually," I say, "I have some shows coming up, commissions to finish." "Shows?" Mum scoffs. "You mean those little coffee shop displays?" "The Hartley Gallery, actually." I don't mention it's one of the most prestigious contemporary art spaces in the city. They wouldn't care anyway. "Oh, please," Tiara interjects, pulling open my supply drawers without asking. "You can paint in the garage. It's not like you're Picasso." A memory flashes. Tiara ripping up my sketchbook in high school because I wouldn't let her copy my homework. Mum making me apologise for making a fuss about it. My phone buzzes. A text from Dad. "Called your landlord. He's willing to discuss early lease termination." I almost laugh out loud. They still think I rent this place. Never bothered to ask how I actually bought it 3 years ago. Never questioned where my coffee shop money really went. "I need to make some calls," I say, standing up. "Work stuff? Now?" Mum's voice rises an octave. "We're trying to help your sister. It'll just take a minute." I step into my bedroom, closing the door on their protests. I dial Caitlin, my former professor and current mentor. "They're here," I whisper, moving in like they own the place. "Lease papers are ready," she replies. "The collective can move in next week. You're sure about this?" Through the door, I hear Kiara. "This wall colour has to go. It's so artistic." "Never been more sure," I answer. When I return, they've already started a pile of my non-essential supplies. My special order brushes, my reference books, my inspiration board, all deemed unnecessary for their vision of my future. "We can convert your bedroom too," Sierra's saying. "Make it a proper playroom. You can take the pull-out couch in the living room." "Absolutely not." The words come out sharper than intended. Mum's head snaps up. "Valerie, your sister needs—" "My sister needs therapy," I cut in, immediately regretting the outburst. "Not yet. Not time yet." Ciara's face crumples right on cue. Mum rushes to comfort her while Dad appears in the doorway, frowning. "Just got off the phone with Steve," he says. "Your landlord's being difficult about the lease. Says he hasn't heard from you about moving out." I force my face to remain neutral. "Really? How strange." "This is ridiculous," Kiara snaps, mascara running perfectly down one cheek. "I have nowhere else to go. My children need stability." "And they'll have it," I say softly. "Just give me a few days to sort things out." They relax visibly, interpreting my words as surrender. Mum starts talking about paint samples. Dad makes notes about moving trucks. Ciara pulls out her phone, probably texting her friends about her wonderful, accommodating sister. None of them notice me slipping the acceptance letter into my pocket. None of them see me checking flight details or confirming appointments with my lawyer. They never did notice much about me, except when I wasn't fitting into their plans. "I think I saw some boxes in the garage," I offer. "Let me check." In the garage, I lean against my car and take a deep breath. Through the window, I can see them in my studio, rearranging my life without me. Just like always. My phone buzzes again. An email from the airline confirming my seat upgrade. First class. Might as well be comfortable while burning bridges. I hear Kiara calling my name, probably wondering where those boxes are. I straighten up, adjust my expression, and head back inside. 9 days left. Just 9 more days of being their perfect scapegoat. Then they'll learn what happens when you mistake silence for submission. So what should I do with these? I hold up a set of expensive acrylic paints, playing my part perfectly. The garage gets pretty hot in summer. They might melt. Ciara barely glances up from her phone. Just sell them. It's not like you'll need them anymore once you get a real job. I add them to the keep pile when she's not looking. These paints paid her mortgage last month. Not that she knows that. The anonymous transfer I'd arranged after Gareth left had kept her afloat, but she probably thought it was from one of her countless rich friends. Speaking of jobs, Mom chimes in, sorting through my canvases like they're yard sale items. Your father knows someone at his firm looking for a receptionist. I nod, pretending to consider it while texting Caitlin under the table. Meeting still on for 3? Confirmed. Bringing contracts plus keys for collective, she replies. Val, are you even listening? Ciara snaps. We're trying to help you build an actual future here. Sorry, just checking gallery details. I pause, then add innocently. By the way, how much is Gareth sending for child support? The room goes silent. Ciara's face flushes. That's none of your business, Mum interjects quickly. Just trying to help plan the budget, I say, voice dripping honey. Since we're all so concerned about proper adult responsibilities. Dad clears his throat from his corner. Actually, we should discuss financial arrangements. Your mother and I can help with... No need, I cut in. I've got it covered. They exchange looks, the kind they've been sharing since I was 12, and announced I wanted to be an artist. The poor, deluded Valerie looks. My phone buzzes again. A text from an unknown number. We need to talk. About Ciara. Tate. My heart skips. Tate, my ex. Gareth's former best friend. Haven't heard from him in years. I need to run some errands, I announce, grabbing my keys. Art supplies to sell, you know. Perfect timing, Mum says. We need paint samples from the hardware store. I'm thinking pale yellow for the nursery walls. I'm already halfway to the door. Make a list. I'll check prices. The drive to Caitlin's gallery takes 15 minutes. I spend every one of them imagining my family's faces when they realise what's coming. Caitlin greets me with a knowing smile and a stack of papers. The collective is thrilled, she says, spreading out the lease agreement. 12 months starting next week. They'll take good care of the place. And my art? Safe storage in our climate-controlled warehouse until you're back from Costa Rica. She pauses. Are you sure about this, Val? It's a nuclear option. I think about this morning. Ciara measuring my studio windows for curtains, Mum planning to paint over my murals, Dad making calls about proper jobs. They've never seen me, I say, signing the papers. Time to show them what that costs. Caitlin hands me a coffee. Your latest piece sold, by the way. The blue abstract. Buyer paid double asking price. I smile, thinking of Mum's dismissive little paintings comment. The price would cover Ciara's rent for 6 months. Not that I'll be helping with that anymore. My phone lights up. Tate again. It's about what really happened with Gareth and us. Ciara knew things she never told you. Of course she did. My perfect sister. Always managing everyone's stories but her own. I should get back, I tell Caitlin. They'll wonder where I am. Here? She hands me a set of keys. For the collective, don't forget to introduce yourself to your new tenants. I drive home slowly, stopping for paint samples I'll never use. Through the studio windows, I can see Ciara and Mom rearranging my furniture, planning their takeover of my space. Inside, they've made more piles. Donate. Trash. Maybe keep. Years of my work, sorted by people who never understood it. Oh good, you're back, Mum says. We need to discuss the timeline for moving your things out. Ciara's lease ends next week and... Actually, I interrupt. I made a list of things I need to sort through first. Give me a few days? Ciara rolls her eyes. Seriously? The kids need... Just a few days, I repeat softly, to do it properly. They relent, probably thinking I'm finally accepting their plan. Mum looks relieved. Dad pats my shoulder awkwardly. After they leave, I stand in my studio. My real studio, not their imagined nursery. Evening light paints the walls gold, catching the edges of half-packed boxes and bubble-wrapped paintings. My phone buzzes one last time. Tate, coffee tomorrow? You deserve to know the truth. I text back a time and place, then start wrapping my grandmother's china. They'll miss these cups when I'm gone. 7 days left. The countdown continues. Tate hasn't changed much in 5 years. Same leather jacket, same way of running his hand through his hair when he's nervous. He's already at our usual table at Riverside Coffee when I arrive. "You look good, Val," he says, standing awkwardly. "Success suits you?" Let's skip the small talk. I sit down, not removing my jacket. "What do you know about Gareth?" He sighs, pushing a coffee toward me. "He's been cheating on Chiara for years, since before the kids. And your sister knew, the whole time." The coffee suddenly tastes bitter. She knew? She needed his money, his status. Played the perfect wife while he played around. He leans forward. "But that's not why I called you." A barista passes by, giving us space to process the weight of his words. "Remember why we broke up?" he asks. "You said you needed space, that we wanted different things." The memory still stings, even after all these years. "Chiara told me you were cheating on me, said she caught you with some gallery owner." His hands clench around his cup. "I believed her because, well, she's Chiara. She's always been the honest one, right?" The world tilts sideways. "What?" "Found out last month she'd done the same thing to Gareth's previous girlfriend. It's her pattern. Eliminate threats, maintain control." He pulls out his phone, shows me old texts from Chiara. "She was scared you'd get serious about art. Move away. Leave her without her backup plan." Backup plan. You, the responsible one, the one who'd take care of her when everything fell apart. He pauses. "Like now." My hands are shaking. "She ruined us to keep me available for her eventual breakdown." "Val, there's more." He slides an envelope across the table. "Gareth didn't empty the accounts. Chiara did. She's been moving money for months, preparing for this. Playing victim is her specialty." I think of my anonymous transfers to her account, of my parents rushing to her rescue, of my studio being sacrificed for her convenience. Why tell me now? Because she's doing it again. I heard her on the phone yesterday, telling your parents she's planning to stay permanently, that she'll help you see reason about giving up art. He reaches for my hand, but I pull back. "You need to know what you're dealing with." My phone buzzes. "Mum, picked up more paint samples. Thinking of remodeling your bathroom too. Chiara needs a proper vanity." I have to go. I stand up abruptly. "Thank you for telling me." "Val, wait." Tate follows me outside. "What are you going to do?" I think of my packed suitcase, of the lease agreement, of the life I've built that they're so eager to dismantle. "Nothing," I say. "I'm not going to do anything." He looks confused. "They're taking everything from you." "No." I smile, thinking of the keys in my pocket. They just think they are. Back home, Chiara's car is in my driveway. She's in my studio, supervising movers who are shifting my furniture to make room for her vision. "Oh, good," she chirps when she sees me. "We need your help deciding where to donate these paintings. They're not really nursery appropriate." I look at her, really look at her. My beautiful, manipulative sister, the golden child who's been orchestrating my life's disappointments since we were kids. "Actually," I say, "I think I'll keep them. For now." "Don't be difficult, Val. The movers are charging by the hour." "Who's paying them?" She blinks. "What?" "The movers. Since Gareth left you broke, right? Who's paying?" A flash of something crosses her face. Calculation. Maybe fear. "Daddy, of course." "Interesting." I head to my bedroom, lock the door behind me. My phone lights up with a text from the airline. "Your flight is confirmed for Sunday." I pull out my grandmother's old writing desk and begin a letter. "Dear family, by the time you read this..." A knock at my door. "Val?" Chiara's voice, honey sweet. "Mum wants to know if you'll join us for dinner. We're planning the nursery colour scheme." "I'll be right there," I call back, continuing to write. 4 days left. Just 4 more days of playing the compliant daughter, the supportive sister. 4 days until they learn what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. I seal the letter, add it to my go bag, and head out to dinner. Let them plan their nursery, let them measure and scheme and rearrange. They think they're dismantling my life. They don't realise they're just providing material for my greatest work yet, my disappearing act. My phone buzzes one last time. "Caitlin, Collective members want to meet tomorrow. Ready to set the plan in motion? I text back a single word. Ready. What's this? Tiara waves my journal in the air, her face flushed with anger. The exit plan? You're planning to abandon us? I keep my voice steady, though my heart races. You went through my things? Of course I did. You've been acting weird for days. She flips through pages. Costa Rica. An artist residency? Are you kidding me? Mum and Dad burst through the studio door, probably drawn by Kiara's rising voice. What's going on? Mum demands. Show them. Kiara thrusts the journal at them. Show them how selfish you really are. I watch their faces as they read. Dad's turns red. Mum's crumples in familiar disappointment. You accepted this without consulting us. Dad's voice shakes. Without considering your sister's situation? My situation? I laugh, and it sounds foreign even to me. You mean my career? My home? My life? Don't be dramatic, Mum cuts in. This isn't about you. Kiara always needs something, I interrupt. And I'm always expected to provide it. Because that's what family does, Kiara shrieks. But you wouldn't know about that, would you? Too busy with your little paintings to care about anyone else. I think of the anonymous payments, of the times I'd watched her kids so she could network with Gareth's colleagues, of every sacrifice they'd never noticed. You know what's interesting, I say, keeping my voice low. None of you ever asked how I bought this house. They pause, confused by the change in topic. What are you talking about? Dad frowns. You rent from Steve? No, I bought it 3 years ago, with my little paintings money. I turn to Kiara. The same money that mysteriously appeared in your account last month when Gareth left. Her face pales. I don't know what else is interesting? How you knew exactly when to tell Tate I was cheating on him, right before my first international show, the one that would have taken me away from being your backup plan. That's ancient history, she stammers, and he's lying. Like you lied about Gareth's affairs? About the money you've been hiding? Mum steps between us. Stop this nonsense. Your sister is going through a divorce. A divorce she orchestrated, I cut in. But you'll never see that, will you? Because Ciara's the victim. Ciara's the golden child. Ciara needs the studio, the house, my life. You're being hysterical, Dad says. This isn't like you. No, this is exactly like me. You just never bothered to notice. I pull out my phone, dial a number on speaker. Hello? Caitlin's voice fills the room. Val, the collective's here. We're ready when you are. Perfect timing, I say. Could you bring over the lease paperwork? My family should probably see it. You can't lease what you don't own, Mum snaps. I reach into my desk, pull out the deed to the house, watch their faces as reality crashes in. You're right, I say softly. Good thing I own it then. Tiara lunges for the papers, but I step back. You can't do this, my children. Your children have a trust fund from Gareth's parents, the one you didn't tell anyone about. I meet her eyes. Tate told me everything. The doorbell rings. Caitlin enters with a group of women, the collective members, right on schedule. You must be Valerie's family, one says brightly. We're so excited about transforming this space into our new creative hub. Mum grabs my arm. Whatever game you're playing, stop it now. Game's already over, Mum. I gently remove her hand. You have until Sunday to find alternative arrangements. You'd throw your own sister out? Dad's voice rises. Your own flesh and blood? No, I say, watching Caitlin lay out the contracts. I'm just doing what you taught me, looking out for family, my chosen family, the ones who actually see me. Tiara starts crying, right on cue. But for the first time, I don't feel the pull to fix it. I'll be gone by morning, I tell them. The collective moves in next week. You can reach my lawyer if you have questions. Gone where? Mum demands. I think of my packed bags, of my ticket to Costa Rica, of the freedom waiting on the other side of Sunday. Does it matter? I ask. You never saw me when I was here anyway. They're still shouting as I walk out, their voices fading behind me like old paint being covered by new colours. 2 days left. But really, I'm already gone. My phone buzzes with a final text from Tate. Proud of you. For the first time in years, I am too. The moving truck arrives at exactly 9 a.m. on Sunday. I watch from the airport terminal as my phone explodes with notifications. Texts from Mum, missed calls from Dad, voice messages from Ciara, each one more desperate than the last. A video call comes through from Caitlin. I answer to see chaos unfolding in my driveway. "You're missing quite a show," she says, turning the camera. Ciara stands in her designer dress, blocking the movers with her body. "This is my sister's house. You can't just—" Actually, one of the collective members holds up the lease. "It's our house for the next 12 months. Legally binding contract." Mum's Mercedes screeches into the driveway. She jumps out, still in her church clothes. "Where is she? Where's Valerie?" "Probably on her way to her flight," Caitlin answers calmly, "as she informed you all last week." "Flight?" Dad appears, face red. "What flight?" The collective begins moving in their equipment. Easels, supplies, furniture. Professional, efficient, unstoppable. Like a wave washing away footprints in the sand. "This is ridiculous," Ciara screams. "I have children. We have nowhere to go." "That's not true," another collective member says. "According to these bank statements," she waves a folder, "you have quite a healthy savings account, plus that lovely condo in your name." Ciara's face goes white. The secret account. The one she thought no one knew about. "How did you—" she starts. "Your sister's lawyer is very thorough," Caitlin explains. "Had to be for insurance purposes." My boarding call echoes through the terminal. First class to San Jose, now boarding. "Wait," Mum grabs the phone from Caitlin. "Valerie, baby, please, we can talk about this." "Check the studio door," I say quietly. "I left you something." The camera shakes as they rush to the studio. There, taped to the door, is a sealed envelope. "Should I stay on the line?" Caitlin asks. "No need. I've seen enough." I end the call, but not before I hear the envelope being torn open. Inside, they'll find 3 things. First, a copy of the lease agreement, legally binding and ironclad. Second, a photo of me at the airport, smiling and free. Third, a letter that begins, "Dear family, you wanted my space. Congratulations. Now you have nothing." My phone buzzes continuously as I board the plane. I scroll through the messages before switching to airplane mode. "Mum, please come home. We can fix this." "Dad, this is completely unacceptable behaviour." Ciara, "You vindictive bitch. You've ruined everything." The last one makes me smile. Coming from her, it's almost a compliment. A final text from Caitlin. "They're still here. Your mum's crying. Ciara's threatening lawyers. The collective is calmly unpacking while your dad makes angry phone calls. It's better than theatre." I settle into my first-class seat, order a champagne, and pull out my sketchbook. The flight attendant peers at my drawing, a family of shadows being washed away by waves of colour. "That's beautiful," she says. "What's it called?" "Notice served," I reply, adding another stroke of blue. My phone lights up one last time before I turn it off completely. It's an email from my lawyer. "Lease filed and recorded. Restraining order ready if needed. Your family has been formally notified that any attempts to enter or interfere with the property will result in legal action. Enjoy Costa Rica. You're free." Free. The word echoes as we take off, the ground falling away below us. In my mind, I can see them standing in my driveway. Mum clutching her pearls, Dad on the phone with his useless lawyer friends, Shara realising her backup plan has backfired spectacularly. The collective will transform my studio into something new, something vibrant, something that has nothing to do with nurseries or family obligations or golden children who take and take and take. I order another champagne, raise it in a silent toast to the clouds outside my window, to Ciara, who thought she could claim my space like she claimed everything else, to my parents, who'll have to find a new scapegoat for their golden child's disasters, to the artist they never saw, finally painting her masterpiece in disappearing ink. The plane levels out above the clouds. Below, my family is learning what happens when you push too far, take too much, see too little. I pull out my noise-cancelling headphones, drowning out the last echoes of their voices in my head. Let them rage. Let them threaten. Let them finally feel what it's like to be invisible. I've got a new canvas waiting in Costa Rica, and this time, I'm the only one holding the brush. "You turned your trauma into pure gold," Desiree says, studying my latest piece. The Costa Rican sun streams through the studio windows, catching the metallic elements in my work. This is going to be the centerpiece of the show. 3 months have passed since I left my family standing in that driveway. 3 months of peace, creativity, and healing in this tropical artist haven. The gallery director wants to know the title, she continues, snapping photos for the exhibition catalogue. I step back, considering the massive canvas, swirling shapes in deep blues and purples, shot through with veins of gold leaf. At its centre, a hollow space in the perfect dimensions of my old studio. Inheritance, I decide. I'm calling it Inheritance. My phone chimes, the first time I've allowed notifications in weeks. An email from Caitlin. You might want to see this. Your sister's meltdown has gone viral. Attached is a link to a local news website. The headline makes my stomach drop. Local woman claims artist sister, abandoned family. Truth reveals different story. Oh God, I mutter, clicking the link. Desiree reads over my shoulder as comments pour in. Wait, the abandoned sister had a secret condo and savings account while crying homeless? Who tries to steal their siblings' house and business? Found the golden child's Instagram. Years of bragging about wealth while her sister was actually paying her bills anonymously? The parents are just as bad. Who sides with a lying manipulator over their other kid? I scroll through hundreds of similar comments, my hands shaking. Looks like your sister tried to play victim on social media, Desiree observes. It backfired spectacularly. My phone buzzes again. An email from Mum. How could you let this happen? Your sister is devastated. Her reputation is ruined. The country club is gossiping. Please come home and fix this. Delete. Another from Dad. This public humiliation is unacceptable. Your sister's children are suffering. Their friends' parents are asking questions. Delete. You okay? Desiree squeezes my shoulder. Actually, yes. I put my phone down. For the first time, I really am. The studio door opens, and Maria, the residency director, bursts in. Valerie, amazing news. The International Gallery Association wants your show. All of it. They're offering a world tour. My heart stops. World tour. 6 countries, starting with Paris. She hands me the official letter. They're calling your work a revolutionary exploration of family dynamics and emotional liberation. The advance alone is more than most artists see in years. I think of my family's dismissal of my little paintings, of Mum's suggestion that I become a receptionist, of Shara measuring my studio for her nursery. There's more, Maria continues. That blog post about your story is being optioned for a book deal. People are calling it a perfect example of quiet revenge and karmic justice. Desiree hugs me. You did it. You really did it. My phone lights up one last time. A text from Tate. Saw the news. Saw your art too. You're incredible. Kiera's showing her true colours to everyone now. No one to manipulate when the whole world knows the truth. I walk to the window, looking out at the lush Costa Rican landscape. Somewhere back home, my family is facing the consequences of their actions, not through my words or accusations, but through the simple act of me walking away and letting truth surface on its own. The gallery wants to know if you'll speak at the opening, Maria says. Share your story. I turn back to my painting, Inheritance, with its hollow centre slowly filling with light. Yes, I say. I think it's time. Desiree raises an eyebrow. What will you tell them? I dip my brush in gold paint, adding final touches to the canvas. The truth, that sometimes the greatest masterpiece you can create is the life you save by walking away. My phone buzzes with another news alert. Exclusive, the real story behind viral family drama. How one artist turned pain into success. I silence it without reading further. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them finally see what they missed all those years. I have paintings to finish, a world tour to plan, a life to live. And somewhere in my old studio, now filled with creative energy and genuine art, the last traces of my family's control are being painted over, one brush stroke at a time. Ready for the photographer? Maria asks. The exhibition catalogue needs your portrait. I stand before my work, brush in hand, smile genuine and free. Ready, I say. I've never been more ready. The Paris gallery buzzes with anticipation. Through the glass doors, I can see the line stretching around the block. Critics, collectors, and art lovers, all here for my exhibition opening. 5 minutes, Maria whispers, adjusting my collar. Are you ready? Before I can answer, my phone lights up. Caitlin. Turn on the news. Now. Maria pulls it up on her tablet. A familiar face fills the screen. Gareth, Tiara's ex-husband, standing on courthouse steps. After reviewing evidence of financial manipulation and parental alienation, he announces, "The court has granted me full custody of our children." The camera pans to Chiara, being led to a police car. White-collar fraud charges, the ticker reads. The secret accounts weren't so secret anymore. Your sister's going to jail, Maria says softly. No, I correct her. She's finally facing consequences. The gallery doors open. People flood in, moving from piece to piece. I hear gasps at inheritance, now valued at more than my parents' house. A familiar figure catches my eye. Tate, looking sharp in a suit, studying my work with pride. Couldn't miss this, he says when I approach. It's beautiful, Val. All of it. Even the ugly parts? Especially those. He hands me a newspaper. Speaking of which, the headline reads, "Local business mogul steps down amid scandal." Below, a photo of my father leaving his office, head down. The fraud investigation into Chiara revealed some creative accounting at his firm, Tate explains. He's been covering up her schemes for years. The gallery director signals. Time for my speech. I take the podium, facing the crowd of eager faces. Cameras flash. Critics lean forward. People ask why I paint hollow spaces, I begin. Empty rooms, missing pieces, negative space filled with gold. They ask what I'm trying to say. Movement at the back catches my eye. Mum slips in, looking smaller than I've ever seen her. No designer clothes today. No perfect makeup. The truth is, I continue, sometimes the most valuable thing we own is the courage to leave space empty, to resist filling it with other people's expectations. Mom's eyes meet mine. For once, she's the one who looks away first. My family wanted me to trade my dreams for diapers, I say, watching her flinch. Instead, I framed their demands and turned them into art. Every dismissal became a brush stroke. Every manipulation became colour. The crowd murmurs appreciation, moving closer. They say success is the best revenge, I pause, letting the words hang. But I disagree. The best revenge is living truthfully, even when the truth hurts. After the speech, Mum approaches. She's holding a familiar envelope, my last letter, worn from repeated reading. Your father's firm is finished, she says quietly. The country club rescinded our membership. Chiara's children, she trails off, are better off with Gareth, I finish, away from the manipulation. We lost everything. No, I correct her, you lost what was never really yours. My space, my talent, my compliance. She looks around the gallery, at the price tags that could buy several houses, at the critics scribbling rave reviews, at the life she tried to dismiss as childish dreams. I'm sorry, she whispers. I don't expect forgiveness. Good, I cut in, because that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I chose myself. Finally. The gallery director approaches with a champagne bottle. They're ready for the toast. Mum steps back, understanding the dismissal. You look strong, she says. I always was, I reply. You just never saw it. She slips away as cameras flash. The director raises her glass. To Valerie, she announces, whose inheritance series just sold for a gallery record, and whose story reminds us that sometimes the greatest art comes from knowing what to leave behind. I raise my glass, catching Tate's proud smile, Maria's knowing nod, Caitlin's thumbs up from the back. My phone buzzes one last time. A message from the Women's Collective, now thriving in my old studio. Your space is filled with light and creation, just like you wanted, just like you deserved. I look around at my work, at the hollow spaces now filled with gold, at the shadows transformed into light, at the truth painted in colours too bright to ignore. They wanted me to trade my dreams for diapers. Instead, I turned their demands into my masterpiece, and now the whole world can see exactly what they missed. I raise my glass higher, toasting not to success or revenge, but to the empty spaces I refuse to fill. Sometimes the most beautiful art comes from knowing exactly what to leave behind. And sometimes the greatest inheritance is the life you choose for yourself.